So we're going to try and build this now. We want to set this up on our islands. And for now, we're only going to worry about the first two to make our life simple. Later on, you guys might want to add more counters. But for now, the first two is simple. If you can build the first two, you can build as many as you want afterwards. So, yeah, screenshot's a great idea. So either you take a screenshot. I'm going to leave my Zoom share looking at this to try and give you a sense of it. Actually, I'm going to build one outside just because that will give you guys a sense of how to do it, and it'll also give you guys a better view. So let's go outside. And I'm going to set it up like so. Yeah, the hopper clocks are another way to count. Works a little bit differently and doesn't use as much redstone, but it does work. Has a few limitations though. So we're gonna set up the first part in kind of a similar way to our T flip flop. This is the same as the start of a regular T flip flop. I don't have a button. That's awkward. Give me a button. And give me a lever. And I'm in caps lock. That's also awkward. So we'll do this. We don't need two buttons. Now this is the first part of our T flip flop. We remember that. So now the next thing we're gonna do, I'm not gonna actually. I'll use gold. Debating. I'll just do it like this. It's fine. We'll use all quartz. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up this, and we're gonna have a piston here, a block over it, and we're gonna need to use sand. You can. I'm gonna use red sand because I think red sand looks cool. But you just need. You can also use gravel, or with any block that really falls. And what we're gonna have here is if we hit this just to test this out, it's gonna get stuck and it's gonna fall. So now we're gonna put in the up position, and we're gonna build off of this. So we're gonna build this, and we're gonna build this. So what we're gonna put here is we're gonna put a redstone torch on the end. This is the back end. And we're gonna put a piece of repeater here. And then on this side, we're gonna put a redstone torch. And to make sure this is right, the redstone torch should be active when the sand is in the up position. And if we hit it and don't place redstone on the floor, then it should turn off. And we're just gonna connect a redstone torch here and stick a redstone lamp on the end. And then for the next one, we're going to do someone already built the next one for me. Cool. So this isn't too bad of a build, and we can test it out. We'll hit the button. It's a bit hard to see from this angle, so I might actually change where the button is. Yeah, I'm going to change where the button is just because we want to be able to see we'll actually put it here. There we go. Oop, placed that wrong. So now we have this, and now we have this. Oh, someone's building us a third and a fourth one. This is cool. So I'm gonna fly above it, and I'll give you guys, I think, John,
Sure.
5 minutes to get this build done somewhere on your island.
Sure. This is great. While you're building, guys, I can tell you, as Thomas said earlier, once you have a counter set up, then you can decode that counter to say, for example, I want to turn a latch on at count 3, and I want to turn the latch off at count 8. So you can have something on between the counts 3 and 8. And you can control things to happen during any period of your clock count. This is exactly the way computer circuits work. You have a basic clock, and that clock is decoded to make certain certain tasks on your computer happen at certain times.
All right. So we want to start thinking of what we want to connect our counters to. And then in order to do that, what we're going to spend the last 15 minutes on is figuring out how we're going to set this up so that we can get 4 outputs. And for now, we're just going to do 1 output. And we'll go over the other 2 at another class time, John.
Okay.
Just because for timing. But let's say I disconnected these 2. You just break the block here if you want to disconnect them. And let's say we want, we're going to start off with just making one of them. Let's say we want this to have a specific output on 0 and on 3. So what this would mean is that the first time you hit the button, nothing happens. The second time you hit the button, nothing's going to happen. Third time you hit the button, something will happen. And the fourth time you hit the button, a different thing will happen. So let's set this up. So what we'll do, I have rockets in my inventory, so we're going to use rockets because I already have them and I made them. But so for a demo. But let's say we want, how would we do it? I'm going to hit so we get to the value we need. How would we set this up? Right now, our counter, if we put the redstone lamp here, they'd both be on, which represents a value of 3. We want to shoot a rocket at 3. How would we set this up? We'd set up an AND gate. So we'll go out a little bit. We'll take some redstone. Fortunately, we have a little bit of a platform out here, so we can build out. And we can set up a quick little AND gate here. Careful not to break our little island. Put redstone dust, a redstone lamp, dust. I put that in the wrong spot. That's okay. And let's put our dispenser. Stick this here. And let's say the star-shaped blue rocket will launch when we get to 4. So let's test this out. I mean to hit that. I don't mean to place the dispenser. I'm capable of clicking a button, clearly. First time, nothing. Oh, well, that's not good. It launched. Okay, nothing happened here. Second time, still only one of them's on, so nothing's happening. And this time, it launches. Then we hit the next time, nothing happens. But we want more than just this one AND gate. We want to be able to have something happen on 0 as well, which is the other easy one. So what we can do, we're going to put this block back, is we'll set up an OR gate connected to this. So we're going to just go around our AND gate. We want to set this up in a little bit more of a organized fashion, but for our demonstration purposes, this will work. And we set this up. We don't mean to connect them. And we just set up an OR gate. And we have a lot of potions here, I see. Very lingery. All right. And we're going to grab a dispenser. We can actually just connect these. We'll do that. And we'll put a dispenser. And what this one's going to do is if it's 1, this one is just a standard OR gate. If either of them are on, it's going to shoot something up. So we'll do the line 1. So what this means is that when we're on the value of 1, what's going to happen? What's going to shoot when we're on the value of 1? Any ideas? The line 1, right? Still can't hit the button. So line 1 is going to launch. We see the line 1 launches. Now, when we get to value of 2, once again, it's an OR gate, so the line 1's going to launch. Should launch. I only put 1 in there, didn't I? It's awkward. Put the stack in it this time. It would have launched if there had been something in there. When we get to free, once again, it's going to launch. You see it shoot up there. The blue one also launches. We're shooting snowballs. Cool. All right. And if we hit when we go to 0, this time nothing's going to launch because they're both off. So let's go over this again. Here, it's going to be lime. Oop. Here, it's going to be lime again. Here, it's going to be blue. Let's start trying to set up this AND gate. Can I build on the parrot? Yeah. If I'm allowed to mutilate the Hall of Fame builds, then I'm sure yours will be at least better than what I do to them. Look at poor SpongeBob. He now has like just a hair sticking out of his head. All right. Anything to add, John?
Great, Thomas. I like the way you introduced the counter.
So yeah. So let's. Oh, go ahead, John.
I'm going to have to excuse myself for another workshop, but understanding how the counter works, guys, is fundamental to building computer-like Minecraft inventions.
All right. So if we go back to our good old presentation of this and we scroll to the bottom, we're going to go over this a little bit more in depth next class. Oop, I clicked on the whole wrong spot. There we go. So this is a little bit of a complex diagram of how counters work. Don't worry if you don't understand this class, we'll go over this again. But the idea behind this is to show how you can use 2 counters to create 4 different things. So each blue line, I'm going to annotate. Yeah, this will work. The blue lines we can think of as redstone. This is all redstone, and it's just orders of redstone. And then these are inverters. Both of these. So one way we can start using the counters and to understand the basic concept of how counters work is we can use one trail from our counter that's connected to inverter and one that's not. And we can use that to count. So if we're trying to make the value of, I'm not sure why this diagram starts with 2. We're going to start with, let's find 0. 0, you need the first value to be 0 and the second counter to be 0 as well. We need them both to be off to get a value of 0. So if we just if we just set up all our values with AND gates, these 4 things are just AND gates. Then we set up one trail for inverter, one trail for an inverter. The only AND gate where both lights are going to be on is going to be 0, because if we draw a full circle, if we draw how this counter would look, yellow is going to be on and black is going to be off. It's going to be on here, off here, and off here. And the only combination with 2 lights that are on is going to be from the inverter here and the inverter here. That'll make you 0. And if we go to, say, another one, this time we're trying to make 1. We remember we need the first counter. It's going to be on, right? So that it looks like 1, 0, 1. So if the first counter is on, I'm going to take an eraser, get rid of these 2. We just flip those around. So this one is going to be off, and this one's going to be on. Oh, sorry, I'm doing that. This one is the first counter. So we'll take this. So this is right. And then the first counter is the bottom one. So let's take the eraser. I was supposed to erase these 2. And we draw a circle. this one's going to be on, and this one's going to be off. But as you guys are probably starting to see, this design comes with some issues, which is if we quickly scroll over these redstone paths are going to cross over each other. This FF1, it's going to cross over a bunch of different ones. It's going to cross over 2, 1, and since we need 4 different designs, we're going to have a lot of wires that cross over each other. And that's kind of annoying to deal with in Minecraft. So we're going to start doing some designs that we're going to build that design once as a demo for you guys to see, because that conceptually is nice to understand. But we're going to do a little bit of an optimized design. It's going to use just one AND gate in order to make these work. But that's the concept behind how we're going to get these AND gates to function, these counters to function.